Greetings, this is Charles Darwin, and I'm here to talk to you about bias. And bias is where our human expectations, beliefs, influence what we actually see. We tend to see things that we believe we will see, that we hope we will see, that we expect to see. Now, this is obviously frequently the case in politics and in religion, but it's true in science also. Scientists have bias as well. The difference is that the scientific method makes a very clear attempt to deliberately avoid bias. Not always successfully, however, and I'm going to give you an example today. And that is, you've probably heard that bees and ants as well tend to live in big colonies. And in bees they're called hives. And in the beehive there's one large female who lays all the eggs and is fed by the workers, and we call that female the queen. And when we use that term, we're implying that the queen bee is in charge of the hive. And of course, that's because we're used to a human history of kings and queens being in charge of countries. And so that influences the way we think about a beehive. But is that really the case? Wouldn't it be just as realistic to think of the queen bee as being a captive egg-laying machine? Now, to demonstrate this, let's do a thought experiment. Let's suppose that the queen bee one day said, "Nuts! I've had it with just laying eggs all day. It's been years since I've been outside, and it's a beautiful day." Well, I think it is. I haven't been outside for so long. I don't know. I need to stretch my legs a little bit. And why do the foragers get to have all the fun? They get to go outside and nuzzle down under the flowers and everything. Think about me. Maybe I want to have some fun too. Besides, I'm taking a vacation. Now, what would happen if that should occur? Well, she starts to leave, and then the workers say, "Perhaps your majesty would consider that now is not quite the right time to take a vacation. You see, every day workers die. They have to be replenished. So perhaps your majesty should consider the welfare of her empire." Besides, how should I put this delicately? But perhaps your majesty would find that such an excursion would be a bit problematic. Well, problematic, my abdomen. You know, she starts to leave, and she says, "Where is the door? It's dark in here, and I can't find the door. Everybody seems to know where the door is except me. And you can't. If I am able to get outside, I don't know how to feed myself. I've spent my whole miserable life sitting on this throne, just laying eggs and being fed by the vomit of the workers. Except for that one beautiful day when I was very young, and I emerged from the nest, and there were all these males following me, and one after another, woo! And then they died, and the workers chewed them up and fed them to me. Oh, that was a nice day, but that was such a long time ago, and that's never going to happen again. Well, I guess I might as well just stay home in my throne room and keep laying eggs one after another. Oh, that's an excellent choice, Your Majesty. Okay, well, I hope that this thought experiment has served as an example of what can happen when even scientists have bias that influences their observations, such as in reference to the queen bee or the queen ant. This is Charles Darwin. Tally ho, and amen.